Hey, witches.
Hi, hello, and welcome back to another episode of, okay, this is the first episode, sorry. We're starting a new book, The Witch and the Tsar. Uh,
Which is
right
really
off,
right up our alley.
yeah, right off the bat, let me just tell you, I love a good map.
Yes.
I love, because
Did you
in
get this
the,
cover? Is it this cover or do you have the other cover? Okay, yeah.
I got the hardback, yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
Um, so right off the bat, I really, really like, how, so there's like parts, and part one, um, kind of starts going into like what's happening. Basically, as for sorcerers and those who cast spells, if you wish to call on the name of the Holy Trinity, if you are one who makes a sign of cross, holy cross, you must utterly forsake such people. So it's talking about forsaking, anybody that doesn't believe in the Christianity faith of any sort, whether it's Orthodox or unorthodox. And this was a direct quote from the Demostroi Rules for Russian Households in the Time of Ivan the Terrible. It was edited and translated by Caroline Johnston Pouncey, which is really cool. So we kind of like have a vibe of what we're going with here and kind of know what
Also,
we're,
I have a question because you're
yeah.
our, between the two of us, you're the Russia expert. This Anastasia in this book is not the Anastasia. Correct. Okay, that's what
It's
I
a
thought.
descendant
Right.
because it is a Romanov.
But it's not that Anastasia.
No.
That's what I thought. Okay. Because I was like, I've been the terrible. That's not Anastasia. Like,
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
okay.
Too early in life. Um, But yeah, I really do enjoy a good map because
Yes.
Russia isn't always what it's known as today. So we actually see like what it is when we first start off in 1560. And then like as
Yeah, look, here's where my dog is from.
yeah. Um so as he like goes in power as the years go by, then you can kind of see how he spreads out the territory. And so you can kind of see the expansion of Russia in this map. And it's really nice too because it's like some of the names are not the same as uh like it is today. So it's like, well, where the fuck is this? Where is that? Where is this? And it's not.
Yeah. I also love a good story that like integrates the mythology and folklore of a time into like in with actual history.
Yeah, so it's like it's a fantasy historical twist. And it's really
Right.
cool.
Not to
And I
say
love
that
it.
like Yaga wasn't a real person at some point. I don't think she really had a house with chicken feet, but um
Has to come from somewhere. And
right.
it kind of talks about that, like the idea of Baba Yaga, and it's like, yeah, I love that. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, I love the historical vibes of it, and I love Russia. So this is just really up
Yeah.
my alley.
It's very interesting. And I've had a fascination with Baba Yaga ever since I watched Lost Girl what years ago. Um, because one of the characters, this like one of the main girls in that show, her name is Kinsey. She's Russian and like the character is Russian. I think the actress is too because she speaks Russian in this show um, sometimes. But they do an episode about Baba Yaga, and that's when my fascination started.
I'm trying to pull it up for you. She is Latvian, so not Russian, but very close.
Same general geographical area.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where if you have like the Slavic language, you can easily like I think Livonia is supposed to be Latvia,
Okay.
but Latvia is not usually on the map. Well, okay, it's on the map, but it's not something.
on this map.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, okay, Estonia is Livonia. And between Estonia and Lithuania is Latvia.
Okay, so
So
it's just
kind of
like right off the edge of our maps then kind of. Or
no,
no, it's
actually,
right there, kind of
it's
where it
like
says Denmark.
yeah, because this would be considered Estonia, and then you
Yeah.
have obviously Lithuania down here, and so it'd be like in between.
Okay. So like right there next to Russia.
Yeah, I think Estonia and Latvia are the same thing because
Okay.
it's like on the actual map, this right here is part of Latvia, and then up
Okay.
here is definitely Estonia.
Okay.
Anyways, fun facts. Oh, another
Cool.
fun fact. In Estonia, if you go to like the tip top right here, they have um like a really pretty not mansion, but like I think it's in Estonia. It's either that or it's over here in Russia. They're really close, and we went to a lot of places when I was there. But you can actually look across the like thing, and you can just see Finland. You're just like, there it is.
Huh, nice.
It's so close, you can see other countries.
That's cool.
Yeah. For those who are in America and don't believe that you can actually see other places from where you
Right.
stand, like you're in 13 hours traveling and you're still in Texas, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it
yeah,
takes me 12 hours to get to a coast, so
yeah. Oh my God, that's so true. Okay. So yeah, we are in the year late May, 1560. And we kind of start learning a little bit about Baba Yaga. Well, she's not Baba Yaga, she's Yaga.
yeah.
Um, and who
In
she
fact, she gets
is.
kind of frustrated when people call her Baba Yaga because she's
Yeah,
not old.
she's 30s ish,
Yeah.
mid 30s maybe. She's old enough that people would like pity her for not marrying yet. So she's
Yeah.
definitely in her late 20s, 30s. Um, yeah, we just kind of learn about her, and she's got an owl named Noach. Um, she lives in. She's got what is it? A, a wolf named Dien, which I love the fact that owls are most active at night, and she's got an owl that means night, and then she's got a dog like a wolf named Day. So
That is fun.
I'm like, that's
No,
perfect. You'll.
wolves are also nocturnal though, aren't they?
That's what I thought, but like this,
Maybe
this
not in
is more
Russia.
like a.
Maybe it's a different kind of wolf. I don't know.
I don't know. This one. Well, she says it's a wolf, but like it's like a dog basically to her.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So we learn about that. We learn a little bit about her house. She calls it Little Hen. It's basically just a wooden house with chicken legs on it. So she calls it Little Hen. It's alive. It goes up and it goes down, and whenever she needs to get in there, and it can flee. It's perfect protection for her.
Yep.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah. And that's basically all that happens. And then at the very end of that chapter, chapter 1, she gets a visitor and the initial guy that like comes up is like, "You're not Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is old. She has a iron nose and a bony leg with fangs for teeth and no hair." And she's like, "Okay, all right, but that's who I am." Um, and then all of a sudden, here comes a white horse, and it is Anastasia.
the Tsaritsa. So the wife of Tsar Ivan of Russia. Well, he's not Ivan the Terrible yet.
Correct.
Um, but I think it's actually really it's in the next chapter technically. I'll say this comment, but I love the Anastasia Romanova. It's a real person. She's a real person from history. The real first wife of Ivan the, the Terrible. and it's I don't I haven't looked back on it because in Russia, you take your dad's first name as your middle name.
Okay.
So, I would be like Emily Robertovna, but here it's like Romanova or Romanova Novna. God damn it. Um, so it makes me wonder, like, was her first name Romanov, or did she become like come from some type of royalty? Like, I haven't looked up much of that, and that I'm like,
Yeah, I don't
I've
know.
zoned in so much on that. Like, I'm curious. Like, I want to know.
Yeah. But I don't know anything about that. All I know is that she's like at death's door, and that's why she's here.
Yeah, she
And
looks
then
real
it's chapter
bad.
2. The first thing I commented on in chapter 2 was just that I love that the hut, like little hen, is like a character in itself.
Yeah, it's like it does not like that homie, the guard or whatever, made accusations.
Yeah.
Is not funny. Oh, okay. So she was the daughter of Roman Yurovich, and the lineage later gave its name to the famous Romanov dynasty. So, yes, it is related to the Romanov dynasty. One of the first. Look at that. Love
Mm,
history.
yeah.
Anyways,
So basically, she finds out, but Yaga finds out that Anastasia's been poisoned, and she's doing this ritual to pull the poison out of her. Um,
I
and
kind of got
she's
lost in this part because I was like, how is this happening?
yeah, I feel like it's just they're basically like who is poisoning her, and she's kind of questioning her to try to figure it out, but she doesn't know. But she starts like thinking in her head, like reminiscing in her head. Yaga does. And she like relives her mother's death. And it's awful.
Yeah.
So
Oh, we
um
didn't include that in the like first part. She's part goddess. Her mom
yeah.
is basically Mother Earth,
Yeah.
the Roman version of Mother Earth, Roman, Russian version of Mother Earth, and like Russia's basically seen warfare forever. Um, and she's well over 100 years, and she basically couldn't save her mom when
Yeah.
either I can't remember, was it like a war that came and
Um
like her mom was trapped inside, or
they burned down the village and their home.
so I think it was probably like a traveling band of
Yeah.
soldiers.
Yeah. And they would have like she would have been home too, except that her mom told her to stay because there were sick babies that needed her.
Hmm.
She said, "I'll meet you back home tonight." Um, and Yaga didn't make it home that night. She made it home the next morning, and this is what she found, which is just sad.
Yeah, because you don't think that like an immortal who can live forever would be able to die.
Yeah, you wouldn't
But
think so.
she's mortal somehow, some bit that we are aware of. We don't know who her dad is or anything like that. We just know that her mom was immortal and she has that everlasting beauty, really.
Yeah, And the last thing to really note about this chapter is that, Anastasia invites Yaga to Moscow, and Anastasia's like or I mean, Yaga's like, I don't know about that."
I don't know if I wanna go see everybody. I hate everybody. I don't wanna do that.
Yeah, she literally says, like, "My place is in the woods," or something like that.
Yeah. It's also kind of funny too because, um, this person who's, like, going to be the Romanov family name, basically. Romanovs have a long and bloody history of assassinations, and this bitch is probably the first in her line.
I mean, yep.
I mean, we don't know she dies, but, like, it's strongly suggested that she ain't gonna survive.
Yeah. You
But
know?
it's great.
Yeah.
So we got a Tsaritsa that's going to die. We have, a woman who is essentially terrified of the public eye and going anywhere with, um, a more than a village.
Kinda reminds me of Anya.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, and I think is it in chapter 2 that we find out, or is it chapter 3 we find out, like, why she's so, um, like, what is it? Yeah, it's in chapter 3.
Yeah. Are you talking about how her friends
Like, why she's known as Baba Yaga and what happened that made her feel so distrusting of everybody.
Yes. Yep.
I didn't know if you had anything for chapter 2. I was gonna move on to chapter 3 and say
No,
my
that's all I'm
piece.
done with chapter 2. Chapter
Alright,
3,
cool. So we kinda find out why, she's terrified of people and a little terrified of going, like, trusting and helping, like, mortal affairs other than, like, healing, basically. Um, so I don't know how far back this was, but basically, she had a friend who, like, believed in everything she did and was very, trusting of her, and I wouldn't say best friends, but very, very close. And she, came in and basically said that she didn't want to marry. It's like the end of her life, basically. The end, she wouldn't be able to do all the things she fancied and loved because she was going to be sold, enslaved, and betrayed or whatever. And it's all because her parents passed, and this is her brother's doing in an attempt to like keep the family fortune and all of that. So she's basically told she is going to marry somebody very, very old. And she's probably like in her early 20s. Um, and
hell, at this time, she's probably, like, 14 or 15.
yeah. Um, but so she basically comes in and seeks refuge with Yaga. And during this time with Yaga, she explains all of the reasons why she doesn't want to be married to them. And then she like falls asleep. She's like calmed enough that she can go to sleep. Well, her brother, Bulat, um, shows up at her door and demands her sister or his sister be returned. She goes, "She's here on her own. I'm going to protect her. This is what I do. She wants me to not, give her back, all these things." Like basically being what a good person should be doing in this kind of situation. That pissed him off. He leaves. He comes back with torches, pitchforks, like the whole riot and a whole gaggle of people. And he basically says that like she's a witch. She bewitched his sister, that he wants her returned because of um all of the skulls in the front yard are of children that she ate. Basically just like lying about things and
Yeah, like
how,
demonizing her.
and basically this is kind of where the Baba Yaga hooked nose, iron, whatever, everything kind of comes into play because he tarnishes her image so much that she is basically told to flee. And if she doesn't and she doesn't have like little hen yet. She's literally just living in like her own little wooden house. Um,
Mhm.
but basically she was told that if she were it got to the point where she was like, look, she's here on her own like power. She wants to be here. She's trying to tell this entire horde of people. And then all of a sudden the sister comes out and goes, yeah, she made me come. She made me stay here. Basically betraying Yaga and then going back down to her brother. And after that happened, the brother basically told her, like, if you're ever seen in this like town again, we will kill you. Um, Basically leading her to be stolen. Ooh,
Yeah.
I can definitely hear me.
Oh, crap.
Well, hold on. I just oh, I can't turn on echo cancellation because we're
Why?
recording.
Oh.
Yep. Anyways, yeah. So she is told that she needs to leave or she's going to die. Um, and that really sucks because, like, that's, I mean, that was her home. That was what she was used to. She did all the things with the babies and all the things with the elderly, the sick people. And one little hoe decides that she's gonna cower and not be a Yaga and goes back to her brother. And then, boom, that's the end of it. Her livelihood has been threatened in the area, so she flees and she settles in a nice little area um, where we know her today.
Yeah, and then there's, like, a lot of mysteries that come up next, like, she's going to the underworld? Afterlife? Question mark? To
Nav,
collect water of
not
life?
or Nav, yeah, the land of the dead.
But, like,
It's
through that, a lot of weird shit happens, and so, basically, for the rest of the chapter, all I wrote is, "Lots of mysteries."
yeah, um, she like goes in this area and it's like colder, obviously, because it's like the land of the dead, and I feel like every single land of the dead area is chilly or cold or whatever. But this is like a frost that will
Except the
not.
Christian one.
Yeah, that's true. Christian ones hot and then cold at the very like middle where like Lucifer sits or whatever. Which is so weird. Like Dante's Inferno is probably the closest to like the Christianity version of hell than anything ever, which is just so fucking weird. It's like you can't go through like all these like random ass like heat spells and then all of a sudden you're like freezing fucking cold, like turning into an ice cube down in the middle. But so I can't remember the name of the god down here, but it's like Mirage. I should remember this because like Father Christmas or Father Winter or something like that is Papa Morozhny or something like that. Um, but anyways, so she basically see.
Morozko. Sorry, I forgot that I was on mute. So Morozko?
Here's the thing about Russian. If you have um what was it? MROZ.
Morozko. It's on
Uh,
page 33 in the last chapter. Last paragraph.
yeah, I was trying to find the like the Cyrillic spelling of it. because it always confuses me whenever, I see, like, um, basically Russian words in the English alphabet. It always confuses me because there's, like, a few letters that combine together, but it doesn't make that noise. It doesn't make that sound at all. Um, so it really frustrates me. So give me one second. I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, it's like Morozka. Morozka. That's what it is. So it's a I don't know. It just there's like a when it's an H, it's like a KH. So when you look at the KH, you're like, oh, it's a noise, like a kind of thing. It's a it's an H. There is no you say it with an H, and I'm like, why? Why? Just say it's an H. Why is there going to be an extra syllable or not even syllable, but letter in front of it? That makes no fucking sense. Even my teacher back in college was like, it makes no sense, but that is how it's done. And I was like, what the fuck? uh, okay. Anyways, Mroshka, he is basically Father Winter or Father Frost or whatever, essentially in like the Slavic world. But he's not supposed to be around this late in the year. It's May, and he's not supposed to be here. He's supposed to be quote unquote dead, because it's like damn near summertime. Um, so there's like random ass frost everywhere, but it also doesn't make any sense either because he he like dead for the summertime, kind of like you know how Persephone goes like to the underworld during the winter and comes back during the summer. Is it kind of like that because Valos is the Lord of the Dead, so he technically is the ruler of the underworld. So like I don't. That's kind of where I don't understand it because he should
So,
be here, right?
I mean, from my vibe and what I was understanding, it's almost like he's like winter. Like he is winter.
Yeah, but
But
she
I
made
also
like a
don't know the mythology at all.
yeah, well, she like made a comment. She goes, um, he should be dead. What is this? And I'm like, yeah, well, you're in the land of the dead. He should be there, right? Like, where the fuck else is he supposed to
Oh,
be?
I get what you're saying now. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that does make sense. But maybe not. Maybe gods don't go to the land of the dead when they die.
I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll do some research.
Yeah, and that's all I have for chapter 3. And then there's like these weird interlude things. Are you done with chapter 3? Okay. There's like weird interludes randomly throughout the story, and this one I literally just wrote, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, this is actually really, really weird because it kind of starts talking about because it says there are crystals. His skin appear like in his beard. His skin and lips are tinged blue. Ice covers the black leather of oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, sorry. Of his boots. So like this is something happening outside of the main story. And so then it's like, what do you mean? He's dead from winter. We're in fucking May. I was in Russia in May. I was in Moscow in May and it was hot as fuck. It was not like this. It was 75 degrees over there. And she ain't that far from fucking Moscow, okay?
Yeah, and it's just like there's just a random dead stranger. Like he's not even somebody from this town. He's a stranger. They don't know
And
who
he's
he is.
frozen. Yeah. So it's I don't know. But yeah, it says ice creeps incessantly along the cracks in the earth, dusting the grass on its way to the hut, which is still and sleepy now that its owner is gone. And then it's like it the frost forms on the chicken legs, and then like the trees around them are veiled in white. So it's like what's happening back here now that she's gone. And there's like this random ass raven watching her too. So it's like
Yeah, which I mean, we do find out this episode whose Raven that is, but also like,
Yeah, my theory went out the window.
yeah, it's also really weird that there's just ravens following her.
Yeah. Um, and some random tomfoolery is happening while she's not here. But anyway, so now we're in June, early June, 1560. Same year, same the year of our Lord, 1560, as they would say at this time.
Gross.
Um, we're in Moscow. She travels to Moscow, which honestly, if you look at the map, she's actually not that far from Moscow. Oh, okay. Okay. Based on the map, she's not that far from Moscow, but I'm sure she's probably like a couple of weeks away. Um, but anyway, so
I don't
she's
know. In a house with legs, she might not be.
well, she didn't go there with the house.
Right.
Yeah, the house stayed. Everybody stayed except for
The
Dien
wolf,
and
right? The
her.
wolf came with
Yeah,
her.
yeah. And so, but now well, Noach, I guess, is gonna meet her in Moscow. Whenever she decided to show up, but Little Hen is hibernating at this time because she's not there to help take care of her or anything like that. So, yeah, so she is now in uh Moscow in the area of basically a marketplace. I do also appreciate that this woman puts like the Russian equivalent and then like the English word in it. I have no idea if that's correct though. When she says marketplaces, I looked all over. I was like, I didn't know that was a word. What is that word? And like nowhere online I can find it. So this girl is born in Russia, so like I'm not saying she's incorrect. I just personally would like to know new words, and I can't find it. Um, but yeah. So go ahead.
I was just say I definitely don't know, but yeah, the I didn't really write anything till page 45 because the first like few pages of the chapter are just her kind of exploring this market and then running into someone who takes her to the czar.
Yeah. What's really cool is we see that there's like a market outside of the Kremlin. And I honestly didn't realize the Kremlin was that old. I thought the Kremlin was I don't know, a lot younger than 1560. Oh, actually it's been built at this point. Um but this is also and what's really cool about the history part of it is that I also never realized that the Tsars, the imperial like world, the capital was Moscow at one point. When you go there now, the capital is obviously still Moscow, but that's not where the imperial families lived. They lived in St. Petersburg. So when you go to St. Petersburg, the majority of the history is going to be about the imperial family and the like history of that and where they're all buried. When you go to Moscow and you go to the Kremlin, it's all the presidents. So like when the democracy took over, it's all presidents that you see and all the history of the presidents. So I low key thought that like the Kremlin was probably built in the 1800s as like a summer location for like the Romanovs. I mean, they have they literally have winter palaces, summer palaces. They have like locations everyone can fucking go to over there, no matter what time of year. So it was kind of eye opening to see that the Kremlin was alive and well in 1560. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That was actually really kind of cool to see. Or like to learn about, I guess.
And there's the really, really strange interaction with Ivan.
Yeah. If you haven't seen we talked about this, how you need to watch The Great. Yeah, this whole interaction here, dumb it down just a bit more, and you got Peter from The Great. I was sitting here like, that's weird. Like, this person just doesn't seem, I don't want to say he's not smart, because obviously he was quite the conqueror of his time. But like just what we see painted as Ivan the Terrible, this is not this is not Ivan the Terrible. This is like Ivan the Nice. It's so crazy and weird. Um, but it's just weird. He like asks her all these questions to get to know her, and somebody was like, "Oh my god, that's Baba Yaga. Like she's got all these things. Like she's fooling us." And he was like, "Uh, that was a dick move. Who said that? All right, you're out. Get out of here. Like this
Yeah,
is
like he's
my guest."
defending her. He's like, "Who dares call her a witch?" Yada yada yada, and it's really
Yeah,
weird.
and she's not a Christian. She's got a cross that I don't know how she came to have it, but she has it. She probably keeps it just to
I've got a
like,
cross, okay? Like a
well,
necklace
yeah,
cross. So like
but
it's
like she was born a pagan. She has been a pagan all her life. Like we were born Christians or born into Christian
ew.
families. So and there's some people out there like, well, I can't throw away this feels weird to me, and I'm like, I still have my cross that, like, my grandma gave me for, like, my first communion, and I feel really weird about getting rid of it because it's really pretty. I'll never use it, but I have it.
Mine is like a gold cross and it's made of like little nails. And I think that that's so fucking creepy. Yeah. It's like it's made to look
What?
like little nails. And that's just so creepy. And I just can't. Like,
Mine's
I
like
don't, I
little
don't know.
mother of pearls.
The whole thing is just weird.
What? What? Nails? I've never seen that. I've seen a
I'll have
lot
to
of things in
find
my
it and
day.
send you a picture. It's wild.
Well, I was gonna say she probably carries a cross because of, like, her time, like,
Like
she's
for her own
not.
protection kind of vibe.
Yeah. Like, she praise and all that to the, like, gods, like, the pagan gods, but, like, she doesn't dismiss their religion or anything like that. But, um, she, like, basically produces this cross, and he's like, "See, who called her a witch? Fuck you guys." Like, and then he, like, goes back and sits on his chair, unkingly like, and, like, lounges all over it, and then we notice a man next to him with an orange glint in his eye, and she's like, "This bitch? Who the fuck it what?" No. So she knows him. She knows who this guy is, and now I forgot his name.
Question.
Yes.
Is Koshi a real person or like a real historical figure? I tried to look it up, and when I look it up, it says like Koshi is like a type of like warfare in Slavic language, but it's also not spelled the same. So I was like, is this unique to this story or is he really in like the folklore?
Folklore. He is given the epithet the immortal or the deathless and is an archetypal male antagonist in Russian folklore mythology. The most common feature of tales involving Koshi is a spell which prevents him from being killed. He hides his death inside nested objects to protect it. For example, his death may be hidden in a needle that is hidden inside of an egg. The egg is in a duck, and the duck is in a hare, and the hare is in the chest, and the chest is buried in a chained up in the faraway mythical island of Bayan.
Which I feel
So
like that is referenced in this story, right? I feel like we read that
I
or
know I
something
feel like I
similar to
read
that.
that and I was like, deja vu for a moment. But yes, it is. It is referenced. It's referenced in like chapter 3, 2 or 3, because she starts talking about the buy-ins, like when Anastasia was there. He was something about this Koshi, which is why it's relevant when she's like, "Oh, it's Koshi. I knew he was here," kind of thing. Um, but yes, he is in fact in Russian folklore.
Yeah, and then we get to find out why she doesn't like him.
You know, I kind of liked it.
Of course you fucking did.
The bad guy? Okay. I'll dig it. I'll dig it. Um, so, uh, okay. So yeah, this guy, um, there's a history there. And I honestly thought the history was, not even the history. I honestly thought the ravens were his because, like, they're talking about the evil eye, which is contradiction to like the Christian everything. And then he was like, "Oh, he has the all-seeing eye," which is also a contradiction of Christianity because it's like you're not supposed to be the one and only. You're not supposed to be a prophet unless like something's foretold. I don't know. You're basically making yourself bigger than you truly are. That's why there's a problem with cults saying that like they're the prophetic ones. Jonestown, hello, anyone? Um, don't drink the Kool-Aid. But uh he I don't know. I thought maybe it was something like that. Like, of course he would know because Koshi's there. These ravens must belong to him, and he's a member of the court. And if Koshi is the kind of person that like is immortal, which we find out in his like story, he is probably poisoning the Tsaritsa so that Ivan would be completely like balls out lunatic from losing his wife, thus becoming Ivan the Terrible and like expanding Mother Russia. So we find out that Koshi and Yaga met on a battlefield. He's walking around, she's like saving people, which is what she usually does. And he comes over, he goes, "Why are you saving this person?" And she's like, "Because that's what I do. I save people that deserve to have another day." And he was like, "Well, you saved one Mongol, and now he's going to go and kill a Russian." And Koshi is very, like, sympathetic to Mother Russia, and everything he does is for Russia. He loves Russia so much that anything he says, does, and, like, partakes in is for the sake of Russia and the betterment of her.
Honestly, and don't hate me, but it's giving Dumbledore.
You're right,
Like,
though,
he's kind of, like, moving the pieces around the board,
and we don't
and
see it until, like, it's told to us or we watch the 7th movie.
exactly. That's kind of what Koshi is giving right now, especially
Yeah.
with what we find out he did to Yaga.
Yeah. So it's like that's kinda how they met, and that's many eons ago, and there's, like, history with there, and it kinda goes into chapter 5.
Yes, I thought we were already on chapter 5. My bad.
I was saying shit from chapter 4, so my apologies. Um, but I'm, like, low-key betting Koshi wins. I mean, why not? He's kind of a bad boy, like, I like that, okay. Um, okay, but here's the thing, kind of a dick too, so they have this bet. It was like, "I bet you he'll live, I bet you he won't," and that's kinda what started it, and then it started going into, like, bigger bets, and then it was, like, favors, and then it was, like, a mixture of things, and, like, "I'll give you this if you give this to me," um, kind of like, "If this wins, then I deserve this," and then it was stolen kisses in the night. We don't really know what that means, clearly, there was no sex because, like, there's a little part of this that comes up to the next that implies, like, how shitty this situation is, um, and it just, like, it makes the, like, feminist in me rage so much, and, like, any women out there who's, like, straight, dating, they fucking know this feeling. It's like, you date some or, like, you meet somebody, you date them, and you're like, "Oh, this is actually going really well, and everything's perfect." It's been a couple of months, and then, like, you're like, "Okay, well, now's the time to get laid," and then all of a sudden, boom, ghost you, and you never hear from them again, and it's like, "Okay, so, like, what was the last 2 months? Was that just"
And not only that, but, like, he also used her to as like a diversion to escape. So like
Yeah.
he played her this whole final bet was him playing her and using her for his own gain. And in that he also basically took her virginity. Like
hmm And that's like the rage part of it that hurts the most because you're just like, you're sitting there reading this, and all of a sudden she's like, and then he like did this, and then he basically conquered me. And I'm like, oh,
right, and like not like he didn't rape her, like she was willing participant, but then he just ditched her. Like he used her.
yeah. Because it was one of those like, oh, well, I bet my prince can make it here on this horse before your prince. And like she's already like given the best horse she owns to this prince. And turns out both the princes died because this is before the Kremlin became the Kremlin. And it was called like the golden whatever hatch throne. I don't know, something. And the golden something. And basically they both went there, planned a diversion to kill his brother or cousin or whatever. And then because the cousin died, which was the one that Yaga wanted to win because he would do right by Russia, um, the Mongols got pissed off at the cousin who killed them, so then they killed him, thus ending whoever ruled Russia at that point, and that's what he wanted all along. And then two gods are like pissed off at him, coming for him, and he's like, hey, like I won, I get to have sex with you. Um, she liked it, she was excited about it, but she was also like felt gross about it because like,
Because yeah.
yeah, like she didn't dislike it. Didn't say no, but she did not feel comfortable enough with it. So at the end, she was like, oh, well, maybe he'll like, I don't know, stay and like maybe he will like realize his feelings for me, all these things. And then he's like, hey, by the way, one last favor. I need you to get these guys off my back. Like, while I escape. And she's like, okay. And then she like kind of sits there and she goes, okay, so all of this was for nothing. Got it. Great. Um, and pushed him off and said, no, I'm not going to help you for the longest time. And then she was like, you know what? No, I'll help him. That'll be it. He's going to promise me not to meddle with human affairs ever again. And here we go. And
He's a fuck ass man though, so
yeah. So it's like, okay, I'm low key betting Koshi like wins and like, I don't know. We all thought there were moments like Rezan and Zayden. I about called him Zane. Okay, that's a far end other
wrong
stuff.
vibe.
But like Zayden and Rezan have like their issues and their reasons for protecting their home countries. So like we thought he was assholes too in the first book. Then we went to the second book and we're like, okay, maybe not so much. Um, so like I'm trying to give a
Okay,
little
the
bit
last thing
here.
I wrote for chapter 5 was, "Okay, but I kinda like Koshi."
Thank you. Thank you. Like, it pisses me off a little bit how it just happened, but I tell you what, like, so I'm still rooting for you, bud. Because, like, once the
Agreed.
Tsaritsa passes, like, who's going to protect her from, like, come on. There's got to be something. Um, Also, she goes back to her bedchambers after this bullshit meeting with the Ivan. Homie's right there in her fucking bedchambers, like, hi, how's it going? And she's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, I don't want to deal with any of this." And they are drinking the most nasty fucking drink I have ever tasted in my life. If anyone has the pleasure of trying kvass and they enjoy it, kudos. It is disgusting.
I am not one for, I'm gonna use the word exotic here, but that's probably not the right word, but I'm not one for, like, exotic food.
Yeah, they have it on tap over there. like Coke. Just go right up to the fountain and just get it. It has no alcohol in it. Not like it has alcohol in the book, but it is disgusting as shit. Fermented barley? Ugh, absolutely
No, that
not.
doesn't sound good.
I remember we were eating breakfast before we had to go to class one day, and a girl that was on the trip was like, "I'm gonna try this," and I was like, "Are you sure about that? Because I tasted that yesterday, and you didn't see my reaction." She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna try all this stuff," and I was like, "Okay, Beth, go ahead, have fun." And she tastes it, she goes, "That is the most disgusting thing ever." She's like, "I can't get" she had bitched about it all fucking day. She's like, "I can't get the taste out. I don't know how much I've drank. I don't know how much." Like, she drank alcohol after that. She, like, went and got an alcoholic drink from, like, the corner store and ate so much food. She's like, "I can't get it out of my mouth." And I was like, "I'm aware. It
And you're just
sucks."
like, I told you so.
I'm like, You sure about that?" Like, "Okay." But yeah, it is the worst drink ever. If anyone ever wants to try kvass, don't do it. It's so gross. And they're over here like just drinking it fucking casually. It's like disgusting. Ugh. Anyways, Koshi, people are pissed off because Koshi is still back in here and they're trying to figure it out. And this is where we learned that Koshi did not send those ravens. I was like, damn.
Yeah, and then are you talking about the interlude or is it the end of the
End of
thing?
the for the interlude. But see, there's a comment here on 57 where it says, "Is it not obvious Moroshka is back? It is not obvious at all, dear Yaga. Moroshka is dead. He cannot be brought back in the summer. Nature does not work this way. It has to be someone else. After all, Moroshka is not the only being who can bring winter. What about Lord Strebug, which is Moroshka's father? But still, what do you mean dead? He wasn't there. What do you mean?"
I don't know, but then I feel like we find out that I mean, I guess we don't know that she's creating the winter, but in the interlude, we find out that this is a woman that sent the ravens. We don't know who she is, but she basically is like, she's like, she always threatens what is mine, always. And
I
yeah.
honestly thought this was like her mom.
And Yaga's mom?
Yeah, like at first I was like, maybe this is like the evil version of her. Like maybe she like I don't know. Frozen heart, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know, but whoever she is like, Yaga needs to fall, Yaga needs to die, like she's in my way always. Could be like a sister or something too.
Yeah. Did she ever have a sister, or was it always just her and her mom?
As far as we know from this book, I think it was just her and her mom.
Mm. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Hmm. I don't know. We don't know who this person is. We just know that she is sitting basically in Nav, I think it is, the land of the dead. And then she talks about Valos, the Lord of the Dead, how he's not there anymore. So
Yeah, which maybe that's part of it. Like maybe since he's not there anymore, Marushka is um able to sneak out from the land of the dead
yeah,
because the other guy's not there.
maybe. Um, Maybe she's taken over, and that's why people think it's Moroshka. Also, Father Christmas is Died Moroj. So I was not close. I said Papa Morojny.
I mean, that's close adjacent.
Eh, yeah. But I don't know, they're barking up the wrong tree though. Did they even like bother to consider if Valos is like alive? Because I don't remember if she said anything about, like, Valos not being there. She's met him a couple of times, but
No, she just kept saying that Maroshka is awake and Maroshka is doing this, but they never said anything about him.
clearly not. But yeah, so that is, part 1 of The Witch and the Tsar, which is I don't know, it's like when you first read it, you're just like, "Man, are they gonna, like, fight each other?" But now I feel like it's gonna, like, they're gonna team up.
You mean Koshi and, Yaga?
No, the Tsar, Ivan. Like,
Maybe. I don't know.
when I read this, I think it's, like, fighting,
That's what I thought too.
but I'm kinda wondering if, like, they team up together and Koshi has something to do with it because he's got such a good relationship with the Tsar.
Maybe. I don't know.
The more you know. But anyways, that is the first part of The Witch and the Tsar. We will come back for part 2 next week. So, until next time.
Bye.